Hi everyone, this is Christmas Eve and this is another unboxing video by me, Michaela, from Me and Joe Creating Stuff. As it's an unboxing video, if you hate these kind of things, probably find some nice music on YouTube, like music from Talk Talk, for example. Go back to the 80s and see whatever you can find that gives you more joy. Anyways, I've done this video before and found that it went too long again, and also that I made some mistakes in trying out the new art materials, because what I'm going to do is tell you about the new upgrade box. So I'm going to open that and show you what's inside. In fact, I've already opened it before, not because I'm curious, but I've been doing another video before and it just turned out awful, so I'm doing the whole thing again and making it shorter, hopefully in the time being. And I've got a second box I wanted to show you that came yesterday, and that's an art supply surprise box from Artful. Well, less of a surprise than the upgrade box, because those guys told you what was in the box before you ordered it. Anyway, let's see what's in the upgrade box for December, for Christmas. They wrapped everything nicely in red paper with a sticker. Yeah, have fun, mate. I certainly will. So, what was in here is a pencil from Pentel, a thin one, 0.5. Then pigment marker from Faber-Castell. It's a 0.1, so it's a very fine one. I like that. Then we have some very fancy tricolor markers, water brush markers. I'll show you what they are like. Because the funny thing, I mean, you've all probably seen those double markers where they have a fine tip and a brush tip on each side. But these markers only have brush tips, but each one of them has 3 colors. So if you take this one, for example, which has lime, sage and moss. So you take off this cap and it's the lime yellow, or here you got the sage green and the moss green on this one. Then there's one with purple, hot pink and heather, and one with blue tones like teal, aquamarine and lake blue. And I suppose you could put them together in a different way. Like if you wanted to use them for, I have to remember how to, this way. If you've joined some urban sketching group, or you like to go out for sketching and doing it on premise somewhere, then these markers are pretty nice, I think, for that occasion, because you don't have to carry it that much and you have a wide range of colors with you. Or if you don't want to take all 3 of them, you could at least exchange one color. I mean, 2, of course, the ones that are sticking on one end, like these, you have to go with. But you could put another color on the top part. So these are pretty good, and they're water-based, so you can use a water brush to make them look more watercolor-like. And what else do we have here? Oh, they come with some kind of instruction on mixing and swatching and what to do with them. But I think it's always best to try these things out yourself, you know, like experiment a bit with the colors and the new material that you get. Then what else do we have? We have some drawing gum in pen form, like with a 0.7 tip. And that's a nice thing. And that's also the thing that went so very wrong in the video I tried before. Because with the drawing gum you can preserve white on the paper or whatever color you put it on top, and then color over it and rub it off again and have that other color there. But the thing is, I can show you, I did a horrible Christmas tree with those markers, and I tried to put, like, for example, a star here. Yes. And now there's only a hole in the paper. I mean, not a full hole, but like a micromillimeter or something of the paper came off with this thing. And I was wondering, is it the paper or is it the color I put on top, or is something wrong with the drawing gum? Whatever. Thing is, I read the instructions afterwards. You have to wait a few minutes until it's dry before you go over it with some color. And I went over with the color immediately, so probably that was the thing that went wrong. Still, it might be the paper that I tried it on too, but yeah, we'll find out later. So we have the markers here, and the drawing gum, and the pencil, and another pen, and some nice red paper that maybe I'll use for something, or maybe I get crazy and throw it away. Here's the artwork of the artist who sponsored this box, kind of, which is Vimo, the SGN design probably. And she made some really nice watercolors. There is, of course, the bottle post, the magazine that comes with it. And it has kind of, yeah, you can see those cool markers here. Or they have kind of, they're looking back on what they did all year, what kind of boxes they had. And of course there is something on the artist who sponsored this box. Where is she? Oh yeah. And she has also some tips on how to work with those markers. Then what else do we have here? We have stickers, of course, obligatory stickers. And that is pretty cool. Watercolor pad with thick 300. I'm sorry, this camera is only focusing either on my face or on whatever I hold close enough. Yeah, watercolor paper, 300 grams, 15 sheets, so that's okay. And it also has, that's a nice thing, it has some tracing paper, 2 sheets of tracing paper, and 2 paper palettes for watercolors, or for whatever. You could, I could use it for making, put a little color of those markers on top, and then picking them up with a brush and water again to make them lighter. That's a way to deal with that, for example. So instead of drawing another horrible Christmas tree on a piece of paper where you can't see the colors anyway, I thought I was going to take my Yellow Round sketchbook, which I decided to use for swatching stuff, like new colors that I get. I've only recently started that, and it takes a lot of time to swatch things, so I'm only doing it with the things that are either new additions to my collection or things that I want to use right now, just to get an overview of what those colors are like. So I'm going to move the camera a little bit and swatch those markers for you. So I'm trying the lime yellow first, and I'm just going to make a square and fill it with color, and it's really juicy and nice. So yeah, like, so we have the sage green, which is a really nice green. I mean, the yellow is unusual. I don't have any watercolor markers in that type of yellow. There are always those squeaky oh, I'm so happy yellow, and this is more like, yeah, it looks like lemon, lime kind of thing. It's nice. Oops, I wanted to make a mark too. Yeah, it gives a light gradient. I like that. And in the magazine, by the way, it says that if you dip them into water, you could even achieve a better gradient. But yeah, not going for that now. That's good enough. So we have these. Then I'm going to continue with the blues. Oops. This is the teal blue. It's very nice, a little bit like a peacock turkey or some turkey. Oh. Peacock feather blue, something like that. Turkey. Thinking about dinner already, it's Christmas now. So then we have the, there's so much color inside. It's actually, can you see that coming off? Only used to that from alcohol markers so far. So this is the aquamarine blue. Very nice too. Less of a variation in color here. And then we have the lake blue. I'm leaving some space for putting some water on top. Can you still see what I'm doing? Yes. Interesting thing is the lake blue is also some kind of slightly muted blue. It reminded me a little bit of ultramarine first when I looked at the cap, but yeah, it's different. And the funny thing is, oh, the whole range is called Cool Marine of these three colors. So, and the last one is called the Rich Floral range. And I think I'm going to start with the heather, because that's closest to the blue. And I'm sorry, I guess that is my neighbor ringing the bell. I'm stopping for a second. So, where was I? At the purple. It was indeed my neighbor who brought some Christmas gifts and some homemade apple tart, which is really nice of her. So, yeah, heather that was. Okay, next color is going to be hot pink. By the way, I washed my hands in the meantime because I had managed to put some glue on it. And I didn't get it off altogether. So that's a pretty good color. I wonder if, now that about an hour has passed since I left these other marks here, if I'll still be able, no, that one I already have. Next color is purple. If I manage to get them solved by water in the first place, because that's something I'd like to try as well. Oops. Okay. Getting in the swing again. Let's see. Oh, by the way, the brand these colors are from is Spectrum Noir. Interesting name. I haven't heard of them before. So let's see. Water brush. Oh yeah. I can still solve some color. That's really a nice yellow. Wash the brush off. The green. Okay, that's less easy to lift again from the paper. That, wonder if you can see that, but that left some kind of stain here where I drew the original square. I mean, the color still, I can still lift it a little bit, make it lighter, but yeah, it's not totally gone. Let's see how it's going to be with this one, because there's an especially dark spot here. Of course, that paper is not specific watercolor paper. It's just sketchbook paper, but it's good enough for some light watercolor washes. It buckles a little bit, but yeah, not too bad. Now for the blues. That comes off nicely in the first wash, but of course that fat line still stays. It's like once you put some water to them, they get a more vibrant quality. Like you see with this lime yellow, it's got some kind of brownish, grayish tint over here, but the yellow itself is very vibrant once I soaked it with the water and pulled it down a little bit. Same for the greens, and with this blue, it's like the darker elements, they stay where you put down the color first, and then when you dissolve it, it gets a very nice vibrant quality. So dark blue. But of course you can see that when I really rub the paper, it comes off and those tiny peels a little bit. Oh, that pink. Where it stays, I don't know if you can see it, but it has a little bit of a yellowish, orangish tone where I had to put the line for the square. So I wonder if that is some color that splits, like it usually happens with inks. They very often split in tone when you put some water to them, which is actually a quality I really like about inks. The surprising coloring you get when you wash them a little bit with water. So, okay. So these are the 3 color Spectrum Noir water brush markers. These are nice colors in a way. I mean, what I miss a little bit for my urban sketching tours, of course, are brownish, and especially some brighter red tones. Because brown I can probably mix out of those colors. Have to see and try how they deal when you mix them together. Let's try. I put down a little bit of purple, and let's put in some teal too. And maybe I should have started with the lime yellow. I'll put it here and see what we get. Oh, maybe it's, yeah, some gray, maybe with a little bit more of the yellow. it gets a little bit more into a brownish tone. But that's okay. I think I can. I could also try and do just the purple and the yellow. Okay, see, when you first put it down, it really has some kind of grayish shade to it, the yellow. And then when you wash it with the color, it gets this really nice squeaky yellow. So that's interesting. Ah, look, that makes a nice red. So yeah, happy with them. I think they will be really nice for an urban sketch tour. What we didn't try now, and I hope I won't forget later, because we still have to dry out the drawing gum. What didn't work first was that I didn't let it dry long enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write something here. And we let it dry first, and then we'll see what happens when I paint over it. And then of course we still have to wait for the color to dry before I can rub it off. But okay, that's that. Somehow I don't seem to manage to get the camera into a different position without switching it off. Well, camera, it's my phone actually, so yeah. So here are all those swatches we made, and that were the contents of my upgrade box number 16. And now for a quick look into the other box, the Artful Box, which comes in a really nice design, I think, with drawing on it. It's the box is supposed to be ink related. That's at least what they said, and the contents they showed on their page, because it's not a total surprise box, this one. And it looks really nice. You can see everything packed. That's just wrapping paper. Here there's something inside here, and it's the inks. There is some black Indian ink, which is water fast once you let it dry on the paper. And the cool thing is that there's acrylic inks inside. Can you see those? Yellow, and that is violet, and some green. Oops. But it's you can see it's a little bit bluish in tone. It's actually that bluish in tone that when I recorded this before with my webcam, which has the colors a little bit off, to be honest. With this webcam, this looked really like a bright blue and no green in it at all. So I think it's going to be an interesting green, because greens with a lot of blue in it, I find them more interesting than the really squeaky yellowish green ones. Then we have red, and we have a very bright Prussian blue. So don't worry, I'm not going to try these out now. I'm going to make something nice with them over the holidays. I'm just going to show you what else is in this box. And that's pelican ink, blue black. So that's nice, because I have pelican inks. I have some of their Edelstein ink collection, and really nice, like this is my newest edition, Smoky Quartz, which is a brownish tone. And the one I really like is Grey Moonstone. Yeah, but they were not in the box, so that's just something else I showed you. And then I have this old from my school days, blue ink from Pelikan. So the design has changed a lot ever since then. That looked really boring, the bottle, no? And these days, like this black and blue one, look at the stylish design they have now. With this beautiful flowing ink. I love it, like it. And I like drawing and painting with ink. So, what I liked about this box is that the smaller things, they came in an extra box, which you can pull open. More paper. And what's in here is 3 water brushes. Smaller one, medium one, and a flat one. Then we have some normal brushes, a round brush number 6 and a flat brush number 8, and they look really nice too in a way, so very cool. Another black marker, 0.3 this time, and a non-mechanical Faber-Castell pencil in F. So then we have a wax crayon, which is supposed to do what the rubber crap did, the rubber band did, which we just did on the paper and are waiting for it to dry. Maybe I shouldn't put any other paper on it. And then there's a China craft pencil, a white one. And what I've read is that, and what it says on the pencil itself, it writes on films, plastics, china and glass. So what I did is I brought an empty glass from the kitchen and I'm trying to write on that now, and let's see if it works, because when I did the video before it did not work. And maybe let's see if the pencil has warmed up to its environment or something. I had to sharpen it first, and also this glass is empty, so maybe it's easier to see. But it's just like before, I can draw on it and nothing happens apart from me putting a smeary film on the glass, which I will have to work to get off again. There's nothing. I can't even see where I started with the... No. It's definitely not working on glass. I wonder what people do with that on glass, because can you see something? Apart from some finger taps and some smears over here now. It's just not working here. But as I know, because I tried it before, it does work on black paper. And before I just tried it on parts of the box, but I found one of my black cards, which I've been drawing on something else before. I did that horrible pirate on the back side. So yeah, I'm just going to draw a white heart. So see, it works perfectly on paper. So it's got a really creamy consistency on the paper. So I think it will be very nice for putting highlights on paintings and drawings where you've already put down some other color. I think it should do well on that. I hope so, because otherwise I wouldn't know what to use that pencil for. But I think that will be the thing I'll use it for. I also tried it on some plastic before. The plastic that was sticking to part of that box, and it said it would work on film and stuff, so I'd say plastic film should work, but it didn't. That's misinformation. So if you're buying the box just for that pencil, no, that's not it. Acrylic inks, yeah, perfect. Because in my huge collection of art materials, and I'm really a hoarder of all that stuff. I take everything I can get my hands on, and even if I only rarely use it, I still wouldn't want to give it away. It's just I love experimenting with things, and I just need to have something that I see and I like. But I haven't had any acrylic ink so far, and it's astonishing in a way, because I like to use different materials for one painting, different types of colors and mediums. So, and I think that acrylic inks would work much better on top of other colors than the usual water-based inks or alcohol-based inks for that matter. So I think they're going to be interesting to use on stuff. What else was in the box? 4 greeting cards to paint on yourself. So they come with a brown envelope, and you have a white card that you can paint on inside or the outside. And those boxes came yesterday only, so it's too late to make Christmas cards. Maybe I draw some nice bunnies or paint some nice bunnies and send them as Easter cards in a way. The post is pretty slow these days, at least in some countries, so yeah, they should arrive in time once I finish them. Wait, I'm going to show you what else. It's a big box, and it's a nice box. I'm going to keep it. There are some advertisement stuff for their other boxes. Not interesting, not art related, also not interesting for me. And then what we have here is another watercolor pad, this time in a 4 size, but it's also 300 grams, so it's a thick paper. That's nice. It has a slightly different structure than the other pad. It's a bit smoother. So yeah, but it's a nice thick paper, and it's going to be cool to try out the new inks on that one. And then one thing that I really liked about this box too is that it came with a thick fat magazine. See, it really is thick, about ink related techniques and artists working with ink. So it holds a lot of inspiration for, I like to be inspired by what other people do, and see what techniques they use, and see how I can incorporate them into things that I do or that I would like to do. So a magazine like this is just great for me because it holds lots of inspiration like that. They have all kinds of interviews with artists working in inks, with lots of huge pictures of their works. So colored ink works in this case, or also, oh, that's a nice one with black and white. And that also has an instruction for how to draw a dead horse with ink. That's going to be fun. See, and it has all the bones are showing. That's how you know that it's dead. Yeah, more techniques. Also, more of the traditional things you can do with ink. Really lovely pictures in there. So that's going to be nice to try out all the things in this box too. It's been triple as expensive as the usual boxes like the upcrate one or the scroller box, but it only comes every 3 months. So yeah, and it really holds a lot of material. I hope the other boxes are like that as well. I'm going to try at least one other box of them, and I will see if I like that as much as this one. And yeah, so that's it for the moment. Merry Christmas, everybody. Have lovely holidays, relaxing ones. Whatever you, I said Merry Christmas, but whatever you celebrate, or if you just celebrate still being alive, sorry, in times like these, then that's a great reason to celebrate. So let's enjoy life and hope that 2021 is going to be a better year than 2020 was. Create lots of stuff and enjoy life to the fullest. See you next time. Bye. I totally forgot something. We were drawing something with the special rubber drawing gum thing on the paper, and I wanted to show you if it works. Oh, I wanted to try myself if it works or not. So let's put some ink on top, I'd say. I'm going to use the black and blue ink and just draw a little bit over it. And then of course again we have to wait until that dries before I can start rubbing it off, the drawing gum. But yeah, I hope it will work this time. In any case, you will see afterwards at least how the black and blue ink looks on the paper, because by now of course I swatched that too, and once that one has dried you will see what it looks like as well. So see you again in a few minutes. So while a few minutes have passed in the real world, in YouTube time stopped, and I'm going to try and rub off that thing from here. And I'm not sure if I let it dry long enough, but we'll see. It seems to work much better than before in any case. So yeah, now that worked perfectly. It's really about the time you give this whole thing to dry. You're not supposed to leave it on the paper longer than a week, it said on a package, but look, can you see this nice white heart in the blue background? And the blue is the black and blue ink, and that, by the way, is also the black and blue ink. I made a tiny swatch before I put it on the heart. It's that bokeh thing so that you don't see the chaos behind me, or at least not in full blue. Yeah, like this. And the ink was kind of very bright blue when I put it down, and now it already, the black started coming out more. It's more of a grayish blue now. And what I've read is that the grayish blackish tone should come out even more with the time that it's on the paper, so that should be pretty interesting. Yeah, so I'm very happy also with the drawing gum. It seems that works really fine. It also has an extra nib, by the way, one in case you destroy that other one by not washing it, because I'm supposed to do that now. Clean it under warm water. And yeah, that's it. Happy Christmas again. Get creative, folks. Do something. Oh yeah, and if you want to see what I'm really drawing when I'm not just swatching stuff or drawing horrible pirates or Santas or something, you can follow me on Instagram if you like. And you can also subscribe to my channel if you like. And there'll probably be different videos too come time. But in any case, if you're curious about what's in those boxes that I order, and I also ordered subscribe to the Scroller box by now, so 3 boxes unboxing come the time. If you're curious to see what's inside those boxes, then yeah, then you should follow me. Please don't leave any nasty comments or stuff. It's Christmas. So be nice and kind and gentle. Bye.